Hello my dear students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to teach you how to revise the first chapter Living Word within few minutes. In this video I am going to share you some of the key points in NCERT. Now let us not waste the time. Let's start from the first chapter, the Living World. See, the twin characteristics of growth are the increase in mass and number. Unicellular organisms, growth can be seen through in vitro culture. Through in vitro culture, we can see the growth of unicellular organisms. Next, non-living things which exhibits growth. There are 3 examples in your NCERT, that is mountains, boulders and sand mounds. And some asexual reproductive structures they have given. The first one is for the fungi, it is spores. And for yeast and hydra, it is through budding. And planaria or flatworms reproduce through regeneration. They have high capacity of regeneration. They have given in your NCERT. Next, fungi, filamentous algae and protonema of Mars reproduce by fragmentation. Next, living organisms which do not reproduce. There are 3 more examples for this. The first one is mules. Second one is sterile worker bees and infertile human couples. Next, concept of metabolism. Metabolism means the sum total of all chemical reactions. Let us move further. Metabolic reactions. See, these reactions are not the living things but living reactions. That means all living organisms are made up of chemicals and all chemicals reacts with each other, and that is known as metabolic reactions. The reproduction in seasonal breeders, that is both plants and animals, is affected by photoperiod. Only organism who is aware of himself is human. That is, the property is known as self-consciousness, except the patient in coma. Next, all living organisms are linked together by sharing common genetic material, that is to varying degrees. Next, range of number of species that are known and described so far is 1.7 to 1.8 million. Number and types of organisms present on this earth is known as biodiversity. Next is nomenclature. The process of standardizing the naming of living organisms such that a particular organism is known by same name all over the world. This is known as nomenclature. And coming to identification. Identification is the process of describing an organism. Next, the scientific names are given based on principles and criteria which are provided by ICBN, which stands for International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, and ICBN gives names for plants, and for animals it is ICZN, that is International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. The 2 components of scientific names are generic and specific epithet. Coming to the definition of binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature is a system of providing a name with 2 components. Binomial nomenclature naming system was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Coming to the scientific name of mango, it is Mangifera indica. And here this represents genus and here it is species, and it should be in a capital letter and this should be in a small letter and should be separately underlined if it is handwritten. Next, and it should be italicized. Next is Mangifera indica was first described by Linnaeus. Next, coming to classification, the process from which anything can be grouped into convenient categories based on easily observable characters is known as classification. Definition of taxonomy: the process of classifying all the living organisms into different taxa is known as taxonomy. The modern taxonomic studies are based on: first is the external and internal structure, second is structure of the cell, third is developmental process, and fourth one is ecological information of organisms. Next, scientific term for categories is taxa. Example is mammals, plants, animals, etc. And there are four basic processes of taxonomy. The first process is characterization, second is identification, third is classification, and fourth is nomenclature. Next is systematics. Systematics deals with study of different kinds of organisms, its diversities and relationship between the organisms. And this systematics is derived from the Latin word, and that means what? Systema. Systema means the systematic arrangement of organisms. And there was a book called Systema Naturae, and it is a title of the Linnaeus publication. Next is taxonomic category. The category for overall taxonomic arrangement is the taxonomic category, and all categories together constitute taxonomic hierarchy. Then what do you mean by taxa, which represents each category or rank or any individual unit of classification. Next, coming to the concept of species. The definition of species is group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. And one should be able to distinguish between one species and the other closely related species based on the distinct morphological differences. And they have given some scientific names of potato, that is Solanum tuberosum, lion, Panthera leo, and humans Homo sapiens. Next, Solanum includes the species Nigrum and Melongena. Solanum nigrum, the common name is black nightshade. And Solanum melongena, it is nothing else but brinjal. Next, coming to the concept of genus. Genus is a group of related species which has more character in common when compared to species of other genera. Potato and brinjal both belong to same genus called Solanum. Keep a note on it. The scientific name of leopard they have given Panthera pardus. Next is the scientific name of tiger Panthera tigris. And cat is Felis domestica. Here Panthera and Felis belongs to the same genus. Next, coming to the concept of family. Family is a group of several related genera with less number of similarities as compared to genus and species. And here they have given some examples also in NCERT. There are 3 different genera: Solanum, Petunia and Datura. They all are placed in a same family called Solanaceae. And among animals, Panthera, which includes lion, tiger, leopard, and Felis, which includes cat. They all are placed in a same family called Felidae. And the dog family is said to be Canidae. Next, the concept of order. Order is the assemblage of families which exhibit similar characters. And here they have given some examples also. The family Convolvulaceae and Solanaceae. They both belong to the same order Polymoniales, that is based on floral characters. And the second example is of animals. In animals, the family Felidae and Canidae belong to the order Carnivora. The third is monkey, gorilla, gibbons. They all belong to the same order called Primata. Next, concept of class. Several closely related orders are placed under class. And here they have given some examples also, such as order Primata, which includes monkey, gorilla, gibbons, and order Carnivora, which includes tiger, cat, dog. They all belong to the same class called Mammalia. Next is the concept of phylum. In case of animals, closely related animals are grouped under phylum. Examples: fishes, amphibians, reptiles. They all are under same phylum called Chordata. And it is based on, keep a note on it, common features like presence of notochord, dorsal hollow neural system. Next is division. In case of plants, closely related plants are grouped under division. Examples: angiosperms, gymnosperms, etc. The last is the highest rank in classification, that is kingdom. That is, there are 5 kingdom classification: Monera, Protista, Mycota, Animalia, Plantae. So these are the examples for the kingdom. Keep a note on this chart which is present in NCERT book. The same chart I am displaying here. The common name, biological name, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division of man, housefly, mango, wheat. Yes. Next is taxonomic aids. These are the procedures or techniques which are established by biologists to store and preserve the information about the organisms. And why these taxonomic aids are used? One is for identification and second one is classification. Now let us study one by one. The first taxonomic aids in your NCERT is herbarium. It is the storehouse of collected plant specimens. They are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. And those sheets are arranged on universally accepted system of classification. And this acts as a quick reference system for taxonomic studies. Next, the label of herbarium sheet carries some information. What are the informations? Means date, place, that is place of collection, its local name or common name, collector's name, botanical name, etc. Coming to the next taxonomic aid, that is botanical gardens. These are the specialized garden. They have living plants for reference and they also carry a label, and the label of the plant indicates its scientific name or botanical name and its family. And there are some famous botanical gardens, but in your NCERT they have given only 3. The first one is Kew in England, and second one is Indian Botanical Garden in Howrah, and third one is National Botanical Research Institute, that is NBRI in Lucknow. Keep a note on it. The next taxonomic aid is museum. It is a collection of preserved plant and animal specimens for study and reference. Here the plant and animal specimens are dried or they are preserved in jars or containers with some preservative solution so that it can be preserved for many years. And if they are preserving the insects, means they are preserved in an insect box by collecting it, killing and pinning. Next, birds and mammals, they are stuffed and preserved. Museums also have the collections of skeletons. Next taxonomical aid is zoological park. Here the wild animals are kept under protected environment under human care, and it is commonly known as zoo, which help us to learn about the food habitat and behavior of animals. And the last taxonomical aid is key. It is used for the identification based on similarities and dissimilarities. Keep a note on it. And there are some definitions such as couplet. The keys are based on contrasting character, that means opposite characters. Generally, they occur in a pair and that is known as couplet. And each statement in a key is called lead. And flora means which provides index to the plant species which are found in a particular area. Manuals means these are useful in providing information for identification of name of a species. And at last, monographs which contain information on any one taxon. So these are some of the key points in your first chapter, Living World. See students, I can tell you that if you follow this quick notes, the entire chapter in NCERT gets covered. So no need to read NCERT. Hope this helped you. See you in the next chapter. Thank you.